Here in the levels of consumer decision making, we are going through the various process how the consumer make a decision to make a purchase. The customer, he get aware of the pros and cons of the product, and based on his experience of that particular brand or a product, he may make a purchase decision. He is going to compare a bike with each other based on the budget, based on the performance, and based on the brand image of the product. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to One and All. I am Mr. Hemant Kumar from Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, MYSURU, the Temple of Excellence. In today's session, we are going with the subject Consumer Behavior, that is Session 3 of Unit 4, Consumer Decision Making Process for 5th semester BBA students. This is agenda of today's session. We are going with the topic of levels of consumer decision making and also consumer decision making models. So these are the two topics that we are going to discuss in today's session. Before going to the topic, in the previous session, I had given an introduction regarding the adoption process, means how the consumer, they adopt the product in their lifestyle, right? So this is a continuity of the adoption process. Under the adoption process, we are going to learn the levels of consumer decision making and also the consumer decision making models. So levels of consumer decision making is before consumer adopt the product, he go through the various criteria or the various formalities, right? So that formalities that we are going to learn in the levels of consumer decision making, and also we are going through various decision making models, right? Levels of consumer decision making. So here in the levels of consumer decision making, we are going through the various process how the consumer make a decision to make a purchase, right? So what happens usually? So why the customer make a purchase decision? Because if there is a need for a customer, so he make a purchase decision. If not, he won't purchase anything, because whatever the things or the goods or a commodity or a service he is going to purchase, right? So it must be a need for a customer or a consumer, right? So here I am going to consider these all points with a single example. Okay, so let us consider Mr. A, right? So he is Mr. A, he is a student in a college. Okay, he is staying in PG. Okay, to travel from PG to his college, it is 5 kilometers, right? So he want a two-wheeler to travel from his PG to college and also from college to his PG, right? Here there is a need for Mr. A. What is his need? That is two-wheeler, that is bike, right? So here a first step in the levels of consumer decision making acknowledges a product or a service need. So here there is a need of a product for Mr. A, that is two-wheeler to travel from his PG to the college, right? So here we had already recognized the need of the individual. Why this need is important in terms of a consumer decision making, right? So no customer, no consumer will purchase a product until and unless it is a need to him, right? So if it is a need, so he make a purchase, right? So we recognize the need of Mr. A, that is two-wheeler. The second step, research product options. So after recognizing the need of a Mr. A, he is going to make a research of a market, how much market regarding the brand of two-wheeler available in the market, right? So how many brands of two-wheeler vehicle that is available in the market as per his budget, right? So he go through the research process through online mode and also through offline mode. So he come to know there are more than 50 varieties of a two-wheeler vehicle that is available in the market. Among those 50, he had shortlisted 10 bike, right? So he had shortlisted 10 bike as per his need, as per his budget, and as per his capability and capacity. So he had shortlisted 10 bike which is relevant to him to travel from his PG to college, right? So he recognized 10 brand. he finalized 10 brand of bike, but here the thing is he cannot purchase all the 10 brands of bike. He can purchase only one brand of bike which is relevant for him to travel from his place to the destiny. Again, compare products and services from different providers. So as I said, he go through the market research. So he find number of two-wheelers that is available in market, that is 50 in number, but he had minimized that 50 to 10 number, right? The next step is he is going to compare each other. Means as per his requirement, as per his budget, as per the standard, and as per his like, taste and preferences, as per the performance of the product. So based on these all criteria, so he is going to evaluate a product one another. Say for an example, there are 10 brand of bike available. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? So there are 10 brands of bike that is available. So he is going to compare this brand 1 with brand 2, again brand 2 with brand 3, again brand 3 with brand 4. So he is going to compare a bike with each other based on the budget, based on the performance, and based on the brand image of the product, right? So he is going to evaluate the product, and finally what he do, he is going to make a purchase decision. So he made a purchase decision to purchase a last brand of a bike, that is 10th brand of a bike. When compared to all the 9 brands of bike that is available in the market, according to him, this 10th brand is very familiar with him, and also it is very beneficial to him for the use, right? So he make a purchase decision, right? Choose a product and make a purchase. So what happened? So he had chosen a product that is 10th brand of a bike, and finally he made what? A purchase decision. He purchased a bike finally. And again, after the purchase, what is the next process? So after purchasing a bike, so it is an obligation of a individual to see whether the bike had met its expectation or no, right? So what happens? It totally depends upon 2 factors. Factor number 1, the performance of the product. Factor number 2, the expectation of the individual. What happens if the performance of the product is more than the expectation? So he's going to end up with satisfaction. So if the expectation of the consumer is more than the performance of the product, he's going to end up with dissatisfaction. These are the 2 factors that affects the satisfaction of the consumer. Number 1, the performance of a product. Number 2, the expectation of a consumer. Reflects on purchase and decide whether to repurchase, right? So if a customer get satisfied with the product, right? If a customer get satisfied with the product, he is going to make repurchase of the product. He keep on purchasing again and again. If a customer is not satisfied with the product, means he is dissatisfied with the product, he shall never purchase the same commodity again and again in future days, right? So if he gets satisfied, he is going to refer the same product to his family member as well. So if he is not satisfied, that is dissatisfied, he won't refer anybody to purchase this particular product. This is the way how the process is going to happen. Shortly, I am going to explain the same concept as per your understanding level. Okay, so Mr. A, there is a need. Say for an example, Mr. A, there is a need of a product. And finally, I try to explain all the contents because it is very important topic in the exam point of view, the consumer decision making process, right? So I try to explain the whole concept in a best and a familiar way. Okay, so here there is a Mr. A, he is a student in a college where there is a need for Mr. A, that is bike, to travel from his PG to college and also college to his pre-EG. So in the first step, no people will make purchase decision until and unless the product is his need. If there is a need, he make a purchase decision. As we know, the bike is a need of Mr. A, and after recognition of need, he go through the research process in a market. What he do? He is going to make a research in a market, the availability of the various brand of bike that is available in the market. He gone through all the 50 brand of bike that is available in the market. Among those 50 models of bike, he had shortlisted the 10 models of bike for the purchase decision. As we know, so he cannot purchase all the 10 bike, so he can purchase only what? A single bike. So to purchase a single bike, he is going to the comparison, that is evaluation of one bike brand with another bike brand. Say for an example, he is going to compare bike 1 with bike 2, bike 2 with bike 3, bike 3 with bike 4. So by comparing bikes each other based on the capacity of a bike, based on the performance of a bike, based on a mileage, based on a service, and based on the brand image, based on the budget, right? So these are the various criteria or the factors that he is going to consider while evaluating each other, right? So after the evaluation, what is the output? He is going to make a purchase decision. Finally, he is going to end up the evaluation with the purchase decision. Finally, he made a purchase decision to purchase a 10th brand of a bike. So finally, he made a purchase decision and purchased that particular product. And in the same way, after purchasing the product, the customer gets satisfied, either satisfied or dissatisfied. So there are two factors that is going to influence the satisfaction level of the customer. Number one, that is the expectation of a customer. Number two, it is the performance of a product. Means if the expectation of the customer is more than the performance of the product, he is going to end up with dissatisfaction. If the performance of the product exceed the expectation of a customer, he is going to end up with satisfaction or delight, right? So there are two factors that is going to influence the satisfaction of the consumer, right? So after purchase decision, he is going to adopt the product, and also he is going to influence other people to make a purchase decision only if he gets satisfied with that particular product. And also he may purchase the same product repeatedly again and again, right? If the product quality is good, if the product performance is good, he may purchase the product in his lifetime again and again, right? So this is the way how the customer can make a purchase decision. Hence this process we call it as a levels of consumer decision making process. So when it comes in terms of consumer decision making models, okay, so there are 4 models, okay. In this consumer decision making models, we are going through 4 models of consumer decision making. This is the first model of a consumer decision making, okay. So this model we call it as a economic model or economic view, okay. In the economic model, we are going to consider a economic view in the mindset of a customer. Means while making a purchase decision, how the customer is going to consider a product to make a purchase decision. So in this process, he go through the rational decision making process, right? So he is going to make a rational decision while comparing a product with another product, and he himself decide the product without getting influenced. So he doesn't get influenced, right? So say for an example, there are a number of customers who get influenced just because of a brand image, just because of advertisement and marketing strategies. But under the economic model, this kind of a customer, they doesn't get attracted towards any kind of a marketing or the advertising strategies. It is assured that the customer is knowledgeable and fully aware of pros and cons of a product. So according to this model, the customer is completely aware of the product. It may be a pros and cons, positive aspect of a product and also the negativity of the product. Therefore, he is an economic buyer who takes logical and reasonable decisions. So simply he won't make a purchase decision. So before making a purchase decision, he is going to think logically twice, and after that he may purchase the product. Means this kind of customers are price sensitive customer. He doesn't attract for the advertisement and marketing strategies, and hence he may purchase the product after knowing the pros and cons of the particular product and based on the experience that he had with that particular product, and only after then he may make a purchase decision. However, this model is unrealistic because a customer cannot be rational all the time, because while making a purchase decision, so he cannot go through the rational thinking every time while purchasing the product. So we call this model as a unrealistic model, right? So that is the reason why we call this model as a unrealistic model. This is a second model that is a passive model or passive view, right? So this is a second model of consumer decision making process, right? So here this model is opposite to economic model. In the economic model, the customer, he get aware of the pros and cons of the product, and based on his experience of that particular brand or a product, he may make a purchase decision, right? So in this passive model, a customer, he is not at all aware of the product. The customer only make a purchase decision based on the brand image, based on the advertising activity, based on the marketing activity of the particular product. As per the passive view, the customer purchase product due to the firm's marketing strategies. So based on the marketing strategy of a firm, a customer may make a purchase decision, because a customer is not at all aware of the particular product, nor he have a experience of using that particular product, and nor he is going to consider any pros and cons of a product. Just because of advertising and marketing strategy, he get attracted towards product and purchase it. More precisely, and also it is believed that the purchase result from the company's advertisement and promotional campaigns, right? So whatever the decision that the customer make, whatever the goods that the customer he is going to purchase, based on the campaigns that is made by the companies or a firm, or the advertising activity where the company undergo. So as I said, it is a opposite of a economic view or the economic model. So in the economic model, what happens? A customer, he is aware of the pros and cons of the product, and he make a purchase decision. So in the economic model, what happens? A customer, he is aware of the pros and cons of the product, and finally he make a purchase decision. Here he is not at all aware of the product, and it is opposite for the economic model. Like the economic model, this model is also unrealistic. So the economic model is not realistic. This model is also not realistic. Why it is not realistic? As it is impossible that the customer only purchase due to the efforts made by the marketers. So we cannot say that customer only make a purchase decision just because of the efforts that is made by the marketers for the marketing and advertising activity. Means it is not the only factor that influence the customer marketing or the advertising activity. There are some other factors which is going to influence the customer according to the passive model. Okay, according to the economic model, okay, so not only the pros and cons of the particular product affect the purchase decision of the product, and there is something else, right? So which is going to influence the customer. In this also, cannot judge the product, we cannot judge the performance of the product only based on the advertising and marketing activities that is made by the seller, but also there are some more factors that is going to influence the customer to make a purchase decision. Cognitive model or cognitive view. This is a third model of a consumer decision making process. According to this model, customer buy product as per his understanding of the market demand. So as per this model, customer only make a purchase decision based on the market demand of the particular product, right? If a product is in demand in a market, only then he can make a purchase decision. He is not rational, nor he get attracted to any kind of the marketing strategy. So according to this model, the customer, he doesn't get attracted to any kind of the marketing and the advertising strategy that is made by the manufacturer. This is considered best among all the four models, right? So we consider this model as a best model when compared to all the four models of the consumer decision making process, because he himself computes the risk associated with the product, because he is going to compute himself with the risk factor which is associated with the product. Means he is going to consider the risk factor of the product, and finally he make a purchase decision. Means it is like a win and win situation, right? So he must never get dissatisfied with the product. He must always get satisfied with the product. This is the fourth model of the consumer decision making process. Okay, so emotional model. What is this emotional model is about? So a customer or a consumer, he make a purchase decision based on his emotions, the positive emotions, not on negative emotions. If a person he have a positive emotion on the particular product, definitely he is going to purchase a product. Say for an example, our ancestors had purchased some varieties or some brand of product. Even I am going to purchase the same variety or a same brand of a product just because of a emotion, that is positive emotion towards that particular brand, right? So based on the emotion also, that the customer is going to make a purchase decision. How? Let us know. So here the customer have a emotional view while buying the product. Of course, yes, right? He do have a emotional view on the particular product, and based on that emotional view he may purchase the product. He doesn't consider the usage of product, right? He doesn't consider a usage of product, but only focus on emotional font, right? So as I said, whether a product is useful or not beneficial, it doesn't matter, but the thing that matters is emotional, right? So if he is emotionally connected with that particular product, he is going to definitely purchase that product. Whether the product is going to benefit him or not benefit him, it doesn't matter. So the customer become impulsive and take relatively less time to decision making. Why it is going to take less time to decision making? Because a customer, he doesn't have a second option regarding the purchase decision, because there is a single brand of a product that he is emotionally connected with, and he have to purchase, and he will purchase that particular product, and he doesn't want any kind of a time to make purchase decision. We consider the product that bring positive emotions. So they are going to consider the product which is going to bring a positive emotion. So he won't consider a product which is going to bring a negative emotions in the minds of customers. In contrast, ignore the one who brings negative emotions. So he is going to do what? He is going to ignore the product which is going to bring a negative impact on him. Hence, these are the 4 models of consumer decision making, which is important in exam point of view. Please get prepared for all the models, which is very important. I repeat. So model number 1, economic model. In terms of economic model, so a customer can make a purchase decision only after knowing the pros and cons of the product, and also based on his past experience he may make a purchase decision. According to this model, the customer doesn't get influenced by advertising and marketing activities. So according to the second model, that is the passive model, this customer get influenced only by the advertising and the marketing activities that is conducted by the marketer, right? So the third model, this third model is very familiar model, and it is completely different from all the 4 models, right? So according to this model, the customer only make the purchase decision based on the market demand that is available in the market. And again, the fourth model, emotional model. So based on his positive emotions, the customer is going to make a purchase decision. These are the very important models that you can keep in your mind. The next session, we are going to Unit 5, that is consumer satisfaction and consumerism. Thank you.